Hi, my friends. It's Amy Lynn Bliss with Pathways to Bliss. And I didn't have much strength to do this yesterday, but yay, I made it through surgery. Huge win. The day after, right after I made the video yesterday, I was able to poop. And that was a huge win before we went into surgery yesterday. And yesterday morning, I was getting emotional before I went in to surgery. And I found the funniest, mask. I didn't have a good mask, right? And people have made fun of me for some of the masks I make at night. Or no, masks I wear at night to sleep. I look like I'm always in a first class cabin with my eye things on. You've seen them in videos and stuff. But I had this one that was literally called, I was called Batman while I was wearing it. So I flipped it over, made like this ninja warrior face mask to go into the hospital. And I definitely felt a bit overwhelmed to go in yesterday, be seated by myself, have to answer a series of questions by myself. And I finally was able to go back, and I had some stressful moments in the back regarding my surgery. I had a really amazing surgeon, it seems. I haven't seen him much since surgery, but I don't recall, at least. So then, and my mouth is very cottony right now and dry, even though I've had a lot of fluids. Guess we have a few more days dealing with this or something. So then I'm gonna have just a little drink of my cranberry juice. Okay, so I was having a lot of heaviness as I went into surgery, and Dr. Bixby came in and spoke to me before. Had a lot of, he was spending a lot of time making sure I was calm and reassuring me that he knew how bad my last hysterectomy went, and that he was going to try and get me in and out of the ER. Surgery as fast as I could, as long as opposed to staying in the hospital and being admitted. So they were playing it by ear. They weren't exactly sure. And so I think as they put medicines in me before surgery, and the anesthesiologist, there were two of them, Jamie and Dr. T, and they were amazing. They listened to everything I said, really took account for it, and they had a good plan in place by yesterday, which makes me really feel like the timing of that was really great. So then surgery, that's why we're all here, right? See how that went? I really didn't know what we were walking into, but it didn't actually go at all what I thought, or you thought probably, or many of us thought. So what they did was they ended up taking my right ovary and my 2 fallopian tubes, left over, right? And that part was like best case scenario, right? The part that I really want you to know is the reason I was in so much pain was, and I haven't spoke to Dr. Bigsby about all the details, obviously, from my nurses and people, or it was my nurses, especially my discharge one, was letting me know what had happened and what the note said. So, and Dr. Bixby did call Taylor after surgery too, to let him know. He didn't say a whole heck of a lot, but the highlights I'll share with you, what he told Taylor were, your mom doesn't have cancer. Yay. Thank you, Jesus. And surgery went well. I have 3 incisions. I did a laparoscopic procedure, which is probably really great for me, but it still was like, so you can see 3 incisions above my belly button. And my tummy doesn't typically look like that, especially with the bloating and everything. Anyway, and it wasn't the Corona 15 that I put on, since I barely have had any food except really healthy food and whatever. So definitely blowing up with some toxins. So we got a huge victory on Saturday, right? I went poop. It didn't hurt. Oh, well, it hurt, but not the pooping itself. And then that gave me a clean slate for yesterday. So everything Taylor and I did with the magnesium citrate uptick in pill form, and bone broth with collagen, acai bowl, and some dents like of my power shakes or blendy smoothie thingies. Okay, so we don't have cancer. That's not what this is about. And what was happening was that my right ovary, was turning into itself, torsing, and cutting off my blood supply. So remember when I made my video on Saturday saying that we didn't want this to end up torsing, cut off blood supply? Well, that happened. And most likely that's what's been happening all week, right? With the extreme pain. So, I feel incredibly like a miracle already that I didn't, that it didn't fully cut off my air supply or my blood supply. And while I was home here, or at all since all this began, since we had to wait so long in the world of emergency surgery, we waited a while to go back into the hospital from Wednesday leaving and Monday going. So when I woke up yesterday, I just wanted to know, okay, how bad is it? What is it we're looking at? I don't think we can fathom. And once I found out that one of the big things we were fearing the most for danger's sake and for my life's sake, that was high up on the list. And the reason why we even thought maybe I should stay in the hospital and take the risk, but then we all agreed that it probably wasn't worth the risk staying in the hospital. So I do what I did yesterday, what I like to, my body loves to do after surgery, which is not want to get back up like from the anesthesia. I just want to stay right there, heart rate lowering, and really fatigued and groggy. So Taylor kept getting reports. He got a report of when I went in because he was here at home. We did this drive-by dump out at Skyridge with no choice. So finally they got me out of the hospital at around 4 Colorado time yesterday on the 6th of April. And my nurse, I was in so much discomfort trying to get in the wheelchair and talk, and my mouth was so dry. Talking is hard. And she was really worried about my breathing even after surgery. So then I get in the car and I'm super emotional with Taylor because I definitely could have died. And I never would have guessed this is what was happening. Why would your ovary and a whole bunch of scar tissue start turning and grabbing onto stuff and torsing is beyond me. I literally feel like it was a miracle that my kids endured so much watching me and helping me. And it was because of their great care we got through those days alive and then made it safely to surgery day. I apparently am supposed to feel better soon. And yesterday, it wasn't it. I was emotional. I was thanking God that I didn't die. I was thanking God I didn't die on that table. There's so many huge, crazy things. One of my side effects right now, apparently, is blurry, so I can't really see you. I'm probably just exhausted and need I can see people, but looking at this video, I can make out my face, but it's not clear. And apparently that was one of my side effects from one of my, this patch that they put on me. Could have been from that. I took that sucker off yesterday because I was scratching the tar out of my neck because I'm highly allergic to tapes, latex, like adhesive tapes and latex. So I knew right away that little patch was causing more problems, especially when I'm taking it was for anti-nausea before surgery, and since I already took that, I didn't need it. So there's lots so far to praise and be in awe of what I made it through. Watch God work miracles on me. I had one of my nurses, and she was my discharge nurse. She was outrageously amazing. And as I was crying, going through the bumps at Skyridge has this tile floor going out the entrance, and you're fine unless you have just had some sort of surgery and you don't want to bounce around like in a car. So at one point I just wailed, and she stopped and then started going really slow, and then got me in the car. Oh, before she got me in the car, she could see the distress I was in, as well as the emotional release of what I just walked through. So she stopped the car, or the wheelchair. She literally rubbed my shoulder, just like that, and kept saying, I know, I know. And then she kneeled down and looked me straight in the eyes. And she said, what you have just been through, it is a miracle you're still here. And you have the most amazing surgeon doctor that I've ever seen in my life, here at Skyridge or anywhere. So you have that going for you, and he is not going anywhere. He's going to take good care of you, and already has. Then, right before the car, I was sobbing again, and it hurts to sob, people. And so there was a couple things going on there. And then she stopped again and crouched down again. And she was like, you did it. You're alive. You did it. This is going to take a while to process because it was so horrific. And somehow you made it through all this. And no wonder you were in such pain. And she did not downplay what I just was through, because she was unable to face that conversation with me, right? She didn't just blow me off and say, you're fine, everything's fine. Look, you're great now. She acknowledged me. She heard me. And I wasn't saying much. I was like that little picture I put up of the little girl on my story yesterday, where she's covering her eyes with her hands. And she's like, sometimes you can't find the words. You can only pray and cry with no words. And I was having trouble finding the words. And she filled those, she didn't fill them in, she just somehow read my mind. She had scoured through my discharge papers and the surgery and everything while I was getting prepared to be picked up. I do have some more to endure with recovery, but Taylor and Maddie had a lot of training going into the surgery, and they're doing amazing for me. And I did cry to Taylor, and all those ugly moments of, oh my God, I had something that would have killed me, and it was doing the trick this week. And how I made it. Gotta be all the prayers and all the love and all the care. that went into this last 6 days, 7 days. I don't know what day we're on. We're now on Tuesday, so now we're at our 7-week mark of this. 7-week. This is why I don't do drugs. This is why I don't like to be out of control in my thoughts or in my mind. So 7 days ago, my surgery came 7 days after. So for all that time, God had his provision over me, told Satan how far he could go with me, just like I said. And God has to protect me from a lot more still. But I believe I'm making it through all of this, mentally, physically, because of everyone surrounding me and all the angels surrounding me. I do feel pretty close to the angels surrounding me right now. And I know that they're there. So this was more than I could text. I can barely see, so I'm not gonna be able to say much on this. You'll just get the video. But I love you guys. Thank you for helping me get through that part. And now I have to get through a different part of getting back up. And just going into this with full gratitude and not fear of what's coming, but full, complete gratitude and mercy and grace. That full gratitude is for you guys, for my children, for my dearest friends that have been relentless with me, and all the lives I hope to touch through all these videos. And I just want to say, my next step is Tali the Kuum. God keeps speaking that over me in my life. It's about to be tattooed to my body against many wishes. But it says, that's Aramaic for little girl, I say to you, arise. And so now that journey begins. I will be resting. I'll text or call, FaceTime. FaceTime's way easier for me right now. Because even I went silent for a second and just was breathing, you'd see it and you'd know. But I'm going to go to bed. But I'm grateful for all of you, and I wanted to get out a message as soon as I could, physically possible. And just send you an update in case you've been really anxious and worried, which don't do that. Just pray for me and send me love. Keep doing what you're doing with me. That's what I need. Even though that didn't look good, even though it was really bad, and it was as bad as we could think and maybe worse. And this is why we don't make up stories. We would never could have figured this out before yesterday. Stay in the present. Keep looking up. So leave it go, my friends. And that goes for men too. I just haven't found the equivalent of Talitha for women. For men, anyone know Aramaic, let me know what it is in English, and or even Hebrew. No, Aramaic. Even in that language, and those might be the same. I don't know. It's so silly right now. I have pregnancy brain without pregnancy. Once I figure out the boy version of that, I will also say that. So anyway, Talitha Kuum. Talitha Kuum. Let's get back up. This will definitely be, or continue to be, an interesting journey to our pathways to bliss.